What is this? After all that's happened, Joseph decides he's going to forgive his brothers. They're his brothers, his own kin, and they jump him, they strip him, and they throw him down a well. They plan to leave him for dead. But then they decide to sell him into slavery for 20 shekels instead. Then they even dip his beloved coat in goat's blood and bring it back to their aging father to lie to him, and they tell him that his favorite son has been eaten by wild animals and is dead. Then they go on living normal lives as their father grieves mightily the death of his beloved child. As for Joseph, he ends up not only enslaved, but later falsely accused and eventually imprisoned. After all that, we're told that 20 years goes by and Joseph's brothers come back desperate and hungry and seeking food. And unbeknown to them, they stumble upon Joseph, not knowing it's Joseph, who is now wealthy and powerful, living in the Pharaoh's court. And instead of punishing his brothers, Joseph embraces them and gives them everything they need. We all love happily ever after stories, but come on. These are not nice people, these brothers. They're jealous, scheming, lying, heartless, and malevolent. What kind of values is the Bible teaching? We're sharing this story with children this month. What kind of values when complete scoundrels just get let off the hook so quickly and easily? Not only let off the hook, but blessed. God blesses people like that in the Bible. If that's how it is, why should any of us come to church? Why should we be good, live ethical lives, if even the wicked are blessed? The whole notion of mercy sends a very confusing message. The Bible, we're told, is supposed to teach us the right way to live, but where's the justice? With justice, people who do something wrong get punished for it. They pay their dues. But with mercy, people get let off the hook despite what they've done. We see it time and time again in the Bible. People acting dishonestly and immorally, and they end up getting God's blessings. Cain kills his brother Abel, kills him. And God ends up watching over Cain for the rest of his life, ensuring that no one will harm him. What kind of justice is that? Does this mean that we're supposed to be lenient on murderers too? On murderers? I don't think so. Jacob cheats his brother Esau out of his dad's blessing. To do so, Jacob blatantly lies to his blind and elderly father for his own personal gain. And what does God do to him? God blesses him and makes him the father of a great nation. No wonder Jacob's sons turn out to be vicious and petty and greedy. Look at their father. He got away with fraud and lying and still gets his blessing. What kind of message is the Bible sending to our children and to us? Especially, what is it telling people who are being good and acting well, the people who are sacrificing to serve others and who follow the rules? Maybe good guys do finish last. Is that what the Bible is trying to teach? Look at the prodigal son. He goes out and wastes his entire inheritance partying and prostitutes, and his dutiful brother stays home doing his chores, getting up early, milking the cows, all the things, obeying his parents. And what happens? The father throws a big party for his wayward son. Of course, the obedient son feels cheated. He's the responsible one. He's the one following the rules. Why doesn't his dad throw him a party for his friends and kill a fattened calf for him? I'm reminded of when I was in 6th grade in Miss Mitnick's class. Toward the end of the year, we had a major project that counted for 50% of our grade. The day it was due, the whole class turned in their projects except for me and my friend Michael. These projects required a lot of reading and work, and I didn't get mine done. The teacher had already told the whole class that if we didn't complete the project, we would fail the 6th grade, since it was worth half of our grade for the year. I waited too long to get started, and I just couldn't catch up. Well, guess what happened? Miss Mitnick made me and Michael a deal. She said that she would give us 2 more weeks to finish our projects, and if we got it done, she would take us out to lunch at Stasha's, which was the best hot dog restaurant in town. It was unbelievable. Not only were we getting a second chance, but she threw in a major bonus. What 11-year-old gets taken out to a restaurant for lunch by his teacher? I could hardly wait. You can bet that Michael and I finished our projects, got them in 2 weeks, and Miss Mitnick took us out to lunch. When the day arrived, as the other students were heading to the boring and smelly cafeteria, we were buckling ourselves into Mrs. Mitnick's VW Beetle and driving off campus to lunch. This was great. She let us get cheese fries, Cokes, and a cookie for dessert. And that was all well and good until we got back to the school. Apparently, the rest of the class got together on the playground, and they decided that they were going to boycott the rest of the day due to the injustice of it all. They wanted to know why they weren't being taken out for hot dogs. They were the ones who got their work in on time. Miss Mitnick looked really upset. For a minute, I thought she was going to lose her cheese fries there. It took her raising her voice a bit before she convinced the class to come into the room while Michael and I sat in the hallway so that they could talk. To this day, I don't know what she said. I can imagine what she might have said. It was a risky decision on her part to do this for us. She didn't have much to gain personally, except helping me and Michael pass the 6th grade. What it did for us, though, was it turned failure into triumph. It taught us that we could indeed do the work once we applied ourselves. And instead of leaving us feeling like flunkies and failures, we ended up feeling pretty special. She could have failed us or chastised us, but instead she blessed us. I remember years later when I got accepted to graduate school at Harvard, I thought that I should write to Miss Mitnick and tell her that her risk years ago paid off.